crossed my line, now they're biting. Yeah, rocky coasts and lighthouses. What she knows now, I doubt it. Talk to me nice. I think your confusion starts with street lights.
Hi Pisces, welcome to your May 2019 reading, you guys. This month we're going to get right started in with the tarot. I already shuffled the cards, and what we wound up with as an underlying energy for May is the Ten of Cups. This is a really beautiful energy. I'm happy to see this for you guys. I'm a Pisces as well. I have always been a fan of the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is, well, first of all, you guys, it is a number 10. So I just did the Aquarius reading, and they had the Ten of Wands for their reading, so it's kind of similar. Pisces, you guys are going through emotional completions this month. I think emotional completions and fulfillment is something that Pisces is always kind of working on and going through, okay? So there is something that has completed at an emotional level in May. Not everybody talks about the Ten of Cups in that way, but it is the 10 of emotion. It's the last water card. So this kind of leads me to think that Pisces are on the pursuit and on the way to something new emotionally, because that's what happens after we complete something emotionally. You know, we're headed right to a new beginning, but first we do have certain completions. To me, this is kind of feeling like there's certain feelings that we're done feeling. There's certain feelings that we would really like to start feeling. That's what the Ten of Cups is kind of saying to me. It does talk about a home environment, it does talk about family, and it does talk about relationships. So there's just something about May with that energy. We could just be focusing on that. Some of us could actually be obtaining that or dreaming about that. So family, home environment, and love. This is the blessing. The Ten of Cups talks about rainbow blessings. So there are certain emotional blessings and happiness. This is such a happy card, Pisces, with the rainbow there. Talking about rainbow blessings, blessings coming down, maybe in the form of family, in the form of home environment, in the form of love. Some of you guys may have children out there, because we do have children. This to me sometimes looks like the inner child of these two people. So if you don't have children, this could just be something that makes you feel very fulfilled at a childlike level. It's like your inner child coming here. I love this card, Pisces, this Ten of Cups. Emotional completion, happiness, fulfillment, something that would emotionally fulfill you. The card underneath that is the Chariot. So some of you guys could be dealing with maybe you could be dealing with an Aquarius, but what I meant to say is Cancer. You could be dealing with Cancer because we do have the Chariot. Others of you guys, this is talking about victory, moving forward. If it's not a Cancer energy, then this is talking about moving forward. Now, this could be talking about Cancer season too in a couple months. This Ten of Cups could be something that we feel over the next couple months until Cancer season. Cancer is the North Node right now too, you guys. So this could talk about our destiny, the direction that we're going. Some of us want to move forward very fast. This is very fast movement in a Chariot, moving very fast forward in a relationship, in a home environment, with emotional fulfillment. This is also reminding me of a car. Sometimes the Chariot is talking about a car, okay? So, you know, we have a home and a car coming up here, moving forward, victory. The Chariot card does speak about obstacles, though, you guys. So I did want to mention there with the white and the black figure that you see in front of the Chariot. Sometimes that can represent things in your path that seem to be keeping you from moving forward. So some of us could be dealing with light and dark aspects in that situation. But with the Chariot, I always talk about moving forward in spite of obstacles. So some of us are moving forward in spite of obstacles of a car, in spite of obstacles of a home, relationship, emotional obstacles too. Emotional fulfillment may be something we're moving forward still with in spite of obstacles in that area. Does that make sense? So moving forward, even though we're not exactly emotionally fulfilled, which makes sense because even though we have certain obstacles, we're going to be moving forward victoriously still, okay? Beneath the Chariot card, we do have the Hermit, and I did just see the Three of Swords. So some of us could also be dealing with Virgo, or we could just feel a little bit more isolated. We could be wanting to spend more time in our solitude. Some of us are very much reflecting in a wise way with a broken heart. Okay, there could be a separation with a Virgo here, coming up here for May, or a heartbreak. There could be a third party I do think that this is someone here that is trying to be wise. This is the wise broken heart. In this case, Pisces, if there's any of you out there going through separation or heartbreak, betrayal, deception, if you're feeling lost at a heart level, then what I'm being told to tell you is that your broken heart is actually giving you wisdom. This is the wisdom of a broken heart. And again, we have emotional fulfillment here, okay? So it's interesting. Pisces are always emotionally fulfilled, even if there are obstacles, even if there are broken hearts, even if there is isolation. Because someone here is in isolation with their own broken heart. If you're not dealing with a Virgo, someone here is reflecting on a past heartbreak or a third party, trying to be very wise and go inward. And this is talking about some kind of wish that we're waiting on, okay? Something about our future. There is some kind of ship coming in here that probably has emotional fulfillment on the way. I do feel that emotional fulfillment on the way. But again, Pisces, we have the Ten of Cups. Very beautiful energy to start off the reading. Let's go ahead and break this down by week. This month, I'm doing the first week of May, the second week of May, the third week of May, and the fourth week of May. All right? So let's go ahead and see what's going on for Pisces for the first week of May. First week of May for Pisces. Now, that was the Fool card. So there could have been a new journey. That card didn't come out, but it did make itself known. So we have the Queen of Pentacles that is coming out, though. Now, Pisces, this is a very interesting energy. This is a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn woman. Some of us could be dealing with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn males or females, but the Queen of Pentacles is talking about stability. She's talking about security, okay? This is our values. It is a Taurus, and so it's interesting. We are going through Taurus season this month, and I think someone else, you guys might want to cross-watch for any signs that you feel led to, because someone else received the Queen of Pentacles in this position too. It might have been Sagittarius. I'm not sure. It could have been Capricorn as well, but Pisces, we're also getting this Queen of Pentacles. We'll talk a little bit more about her in a minute. But it's interesting, the Fool made its way to the bottom of the deck. So there is this Fool-like energy at the beginning of May to consider, which is some sort of risk. There is a financial risk coming up here, maybe jumping into something new, jumping into a completely new journey, in a new experience, starting back at zero, jumping into something new and not really knowing if you're gonna fall or if you're gonna fly. That's the glory of the Fool. So yeah, there is some kind of new start. It could be an Aries too. The Fool does represent Aries. Let's see what's behind the Fool. Oh, the Ten of Swords. So for some reason, this Fool is connected to the Ten of Swords. So to me, what this is clearly saying is that some of you are out there wanting to start new beginnings after endings. There was some kind of painful ending. Pisces, we know this energy. We know the Ten of Swords. We know how it is to be backstabbed and to feel this pain, to feel like a victim on the ground, you know, but it's time to get up from that energy. Could be dealing with Gemini, Libra, Aquarius too. The Ten of Swords is not a bad card. This is talking about the painful ending to something that has been hard. You know, this has been very painful and it had to end. You know, there's 10 swords in a person's back here, but we want to make sure that we notice the light here. We have the light, we have all this darkness, and then we have this light at the end of the tunnel finally showing up after a very long period of disappointment and pain. And because of that, there's this new beginning. So I see an ending and beginning here, clarifying this Queen of Pentacles. So we're trying to stay grounded, but also Pisces, May is beckoning us to take a leap of faith in some way. Let's see what the second week of May is for Pisces. What is the second week of May for Pisces? Second week of May 2019 for Pisces. Now, this Three of Swords just came out in a very strange way, but we're going to take it. So, second week of May is where we are now, Pisces. I am recording this reading on May 12th. So, most of you are going to be watching in this space. Although any of these energies can take place in May, some of you are going to be watching later on in the month, but this is where I am now, okay? So there's definitely May. The second week of May can be kind of heartbreaking for Pisces, and it's heartbreak is different for Pisces because heartbreak does inspire us. We are very wise. We're able to hang on to what we know, and what this is kind of like. This heartbreak is teaching us, Pisces, and that's something I've always known. So what this is making me think of is how beautiful and creative people are, and how beautiful and creative basically how the space, being in the space of heartbreak. Now, no one wants heartbreak, right? But for those of us who are chosen to be heartbroken, or who are chosen to experience heartbreak at certain times in our life, it's just there's a positiveness to that as well. Okay, I am pulling the Sun card. I didn't realize I was doing that, but I do have the Sun card here, Pisces. So it could be a Leo. But I just want you guys to know that this is about enlightenment. Like, we're being very wise and enlightened. We can definitely see through this heartbreak. So for those of you out there listening who are going through separation, especially in the second week of May, please know that what my cards are telling me is that this is actually for your best interest. This is so that you can be happier. There may be a child involved, again, a Leo, but this is for your happiness. Like, sometimes we have to go through heartbreak in order to see something clearly. Sometimes we have to have our heart broken open in order to allow the light in order to allow happiness in. So what I'm going to suggest is, those of you out there who are heartbroken, you know, we make very great musicians. There's a lot of beautiful music that can come out of heartbreak, a lot of beautiful art and creativity that can come out of this space. So I'm just trying to be a little bit more optimistic. There could be some Pisces out there who are trying to be optimistic and wise about a heartbreak. Now, the underlying energy for this Three of Swords is the World. So this is the card that rules Saturn. So this could have something to do with Saturn retrograde. Saturn is retrograde in Capricorn until September. You could also be dealing with an Aquarius, a Scorpio, a Taurus, or a Leo. There's a lot of fixed energy here, which is stable. The World talks about a completion. There's a cycle here that is completing. Remember, we're already experiencing that emotionally. We can feel the fact that there is a cycle that is over in May. And for some of us, that's going to resonate as emotional fulfillment, because when a water sign like Pisces is going through a completion, you know, it's almost like we can feel that. We know that there's something that we can tell when there's an emotional completion, because we feel that there is no more emotion to experience there. We're not feeling anything new. It's not exactly like we're feeling anything old either. What it is that we're just feeling the same. And for Pisces, we're mutable. So our emotions are not meant to stay the same like Scorpio. We're meant to experience emotion at a very wide range. So a very wide range of happiness, all the way down to sadness, and then somewhere in the middle with anger and frustration. And so imagine all the emotion that you can feel. And imagine how that would be for a sign like Pisces, who is all zodiac signs. You know, Pisces is the last zodiac sign. And we're kind of like the ascended masters. So Pisces, if you think about how vast your sea of emotion is, please keep that in mind during these completions. Okay, this could be a heartbreaking completion for some of you. This could also be the completion to heartbreak. So the heartbreak that some of us have been feeling for pretty much all of our life. I know not all the Pisces I know are pretty much heartbroken all the time, because it doesn't take much to break a Pisces heart, because we're very sensitive. Okay, we're very, very intuitive when it comes to the ways other people are feeling and when it comes to the ways we're feeling. So all of this has something to do with this separation. There could have been a breakup or something like that, because of just there's these endings to cycles to consider at the second week of May. Okay, now this could also be travel for some of you guys. The World card is sometimes travel. The World card can also be an indication of celebration. So again, this heartbreak is being clarified by happy things. So I don't know if that's because some of us are just kind of, Pisces are the functioning heartbreakers. Like, we can still function with a heartbreak. Okay, so that's coming up there. But there is this ending to a cycle. So if you are going through separation or feeling lost at a heart level, please know that anything that ends the second week of May is because it was over with a capital OVER. You know, it doesn't get much more over than the World. Okay, behind the World, we do have the Ace of Pentacles. So in spite of these things going on, Pisces, I know that we are focusing on the tangible. We're focusing on making our dreams and the things that we fantasize real in reality. That's what Pisces is all about. So there are these options coming to us, Pisces. There is something that you need coming to you in relation to this completion. Some of you may need something in May in order to complete this cycle once and for all. Although it may involve a separation and heartbreak, it's like there is something that you need coming to you in order to end this thing. Both of these cards talk about endings, okay? This is an ending and a completion at a heart level. And it's just interesting that we have the Ace of Pentacles because we do have the Queen of Pentacles. That coin is coming up. So even finances, some of us may need finances in order to complete something, in order to travel. And I did see the Seven of Swords too, Pisces, so be very careful of people with hidden agendas, because I see the Seven of Swords too, or I'm sorry, the Five of Swords. So there could even be some sort of conflict as far as an argument, something that needs to change at a mental level. Be very careful of this energy here. But if the Seven of Swords is meant to come out, Pisces, the Seven of Swords will come out. I do just want to say that some of you could be dealing with liars, deceivers, cheaters, manipulators, you know, energies like that. Someone may be trying to get away with something here. All right, let's continue. What is the third week of May 2019 for Pisces? Please give me one card for the third week of May. We have the King of Pentacles. Wow, Pisces. So we have the King and the Queen of Pentacles here. So right away, some of you guys are dealing with the separation phase of twin flame. I don't know how many of you out there resonate with twin flame energy, but when we have the King and the Queen of a certain suit like this, we have both the King and the Queen of Pentacles. That to me reminds me of people who are mirroring each other. Especially, I'll show you how this King and this Queen looks in just a moment. But they're facing different ways. They're both focused on what they value in a different way. They're not facing each other. So this was a separation. Some of you are definitely dealing with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The King of Pentacles reminds me of a Capricorn, and the Queen of Pentacles gives me a Taurus vibe. If you can see here, there is a bull on that man's throne. So there is a male Taurus showing up here. There is a female Taurus. But again, these are just energy. So it doesn't have to be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It could just be talking about security. It could be talking about being a bit more logical. It could be talking about being a bit more grounded when it comes to these energies. I want to pause here though, Pisces, so that I can thoroughly explain that some of you are going through separation from a twin flame soulmate, because we do have the Temperance card. And the Temperance card is sometimes associated with twin flames. It is a Sagittarius. So there could even be a specific Sagittarius coming up here. But you are, Tyson, you are being told to stay patient. There is some patience here coming out with the Temperance card. Balance, alchemy, right? Getting that perfect moderate balance. Like, there is some financial moderacy coming up here. Like, as far as being a little bit more moderate about your values and the things that you consider worth it, because we have some very logical kings and queens showing up here. But yeah, some of you are dealing with twin flames for sure. Underneath the Temperance card, we do have the Magician. So there's a lot of magic and alchemy. Some of you guys are real life alchemists out there. The Magician is also an alchemist. He also works with magic. This is something that you're manifesting very patiently. Some of you guys are manifesting very patiently throughout this separation from your twin. Beneath the Magician is the Three of Pentacles. So this could even be about working together with someone magically, joining forces with other magical people. The Magician does remind me of Pisces because you can see there's all the elements. Pisces is a combination of all the elements there on the table. Someone here needs to be told that they do have everything they need to create something. The Magician is all about believing in yourself enough to know that you have every resource, all the resources that you need on the table. So it's like kind of having all the ingredients to a cake, and now just, wow, now just needing to have to put that cake together. Now my cards, I don't know if you guys saw that, but this is also about that Ten of Cups. Like, your Ten of Cups is so important this month, Pisces. A happy home environment, happy family bliss. Like, this card just fell back, and I just got an indication of the High Priestess as well. So I don't know if this is intuitive. Could be dealing with a Scorpio as well. That Scorpio full moon this month, you guys, is happening on May 18th. Because I just saw the Death card. So there's something about the Scorpio full moon, or maybe even an actual Scorpio energy coming up here as well when it comes to this Ten of Cups. Okay, because I've seen the High Priestess too. So following our intuition about what would emotionally fulfill us. I think in this case, Pisces, we are trying to move forward and fulfill ourselves emotionally. A lot of Pisces don't realize that we have everything within us to fulfill our own self. And the reason why, Pisces, it takes a long time for Pisces to eventually realize that. Some of us never do. It's because we are martyrs. So we are the givers. We like to give to other people. We like to make other people feel emotionally fulfilled more than what we like to make ourselves emotionally fulfilled. But there is the worth of Pisces that is changing. Taurus season, Aries season is really what showed Pisces their worth and value, because that is what rules worth and value to Pisces, is Aries season. So that was last month. And then we moved into Taurus season this month, and Taurus represents worth and value for all people. And for us Pisces, it's talking about communication. Taurus is our third house. So the first couple weeks of May, it definitely has a focus on communicating in our lower mind, our thoughts, how we're thinking, and that inner dialogue. So there may even be something we need to communicate at the beginning of the month before we head into our fourth house of home and family at the end. Gemini does represent home and family for Pisces. So definitely twin flame stuff going on here. And unfortunately, some of us are separated from our twin flame. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit more about that energy after we get the fourth week of May. Okay, Pisces, like there is some kind of apology here to consider as well. I'm just looking at the cards, but first of all, some of us are being very patient when it comes to manifestation, or we're needing to be, because in this case, magic and manifestation need to work together as a team with alchemy and patience. This is magic and alchemy working together as a team. And I just wanted to show you guys these cards here. As far as the burdens that we've been carrying, Pisces, our destiny is about to turn that. Remember, we had the world show up. Now we have the wheel of fortune, which is Jupiter. Jupiter is squaring Pisces and Sagittarius right now. So we do have a message here about Jupiter and Sagittarius going retrograde. And this is fortune from our past coming back as far as our career. But yeah, the Page of Cups is Pisces. Now this could be a love offer, a very innocent love offer that changes everything. It could be a child. This is a younger water sign energy. It's not quite the King of Cups or the Knight of Cups, but this is a very soft and subtle nudge of emotion from somebody. You know what I mean? But we have intuition. We're going to be able to tell what this emotion, what the intentions are behind this Page of Cups, this younger emotional offer. But again, we have the Temperance here. Okay, so we're going to need to stay very patient when it comes to alchemy and magic at the third week of May, which is when this Scorpio full moon is happening in our house of career. We're doing something here, Pisces. We're working with alchemy. We're mixing certain potions together magically. And this is also talking about trying new things, testing the waters. You can see the Temperance card has 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land. So Pisces, we are mixing the spiritual realm and the reality realms together in May. Let's get that fourth and final week for Pisces. What is the last week of May? What is the fourth week of May like for Pisces? This card almost wanted to come out, the Three of Cups. So some of us could be socializing and celebrating at the end of May. What is the fourth and final week of May 2019 for Pisces? Okay, we have 2 cards coming out. Oh wow, we have the Moon card and the Five of Wands. So Pisces, the Moon card is us. This is our ruling card. It came out with the Five of Wands. That's a very interesting combination. We'll talk about what that means in a minute. The bottom of our deck for the whole reading for May is the Ace of Swords, which is so awesome. When I was shuffling, I kept seeing the Ace of Swords. I've been seeing the Ace of Swords come up for Pisces ever since Pisces season a few months ago. So we still have our clarity, Pisces. We still have victory. We still have this Ace of Swords that has been given to us by the universe. Like Pisces very much is the Ace of Swords right now. And it's nice to know that we still have an underlying energy of that same energy coming up, because the Ace of Swords has just been really in the readings for Pisces. I've seen it in my own readings and other readings too. So let's go ahead and get some of this talked about, Pisces. Remember, this is the first week of May, and it's May 12th as I'm recording this. So the majority of us have probably already experienced this energy, but this is how we came into May, like the Queen of Pentacles. Let's talk a little bit about her. I love this card. She's like my second favorite card in tarot. My first is the High Priestess. But the Queen of Pentacles, you know, she is that Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. It doesn't have to be that zodiac sign. Some of you may have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy in your chart. And I think in that case, it's that grounded energy that we're accessing. Some of us are literally taking on the energy of the Queen of Pentacles for May. We tried to enter May in a very grounded, logical way, focusing on the ground beneath our feet. I was going to say that Pisces is all the elements, so it's not like we can't take on air, water, fire, and earth. Like, we are all the elements. That's why Pisces is the magician. That's why we're able to access certain magic, okay? So the Queen of Pentacles is the Earth Mother. She's a very nurturing woman as far as earth. She cooks, she cleans, she is a woman who definitely has her own financial security. So financial security is coming up here, Pisces. We could have been focused on that in May. I do know Pisces is focusing a bit more on their work, and that could be what the King and the Queen of Pentacles is representing too. We do have the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine here that are both speaking to mastering in a grounded way. Mastering our finances is coming up. Every king and queen has mastered the suit that they're in charge of. So this is the queen of earth, the queen of, you know, finances, value, worth. And to me, sometimes this does look like a person who's a bit worried. So some of us could be a bit worried about our financial security, especially because we're going through certain things in our home this month. We're going through certain things family-wise. So, you know, Pisces, even though we have all the elements, Pisces is not the most logical, realistic sign. We work more in the magical realms, in the dream realms, in the fantasy. That's why we're the moon card. That's why we're the 12th house of the subconscious. So again, Pisces is trying to take some of that dream, fantasy, imagination, energy and make it more real. Make it into something that we can have value, make money with our gifts and talents and abilities in our dreams, right? Making something real and tangible. The Queen of Pentacles is all about what's real, what's touchable, what's feelable. This is materialistic, okay? Our money, our finances. And what I was going to say is Pisces that's a very foreign energy to us. You know, we're more of the Queen of Cups energy, you know, things like that, more emotional. But I think some of us are trying to be a bit more logical. So could it be that we're straying a bit away from the emotional realms? And we're not disconnecting entirely, because remember, we had the 10 of Cups in our reading too. So if we're feeling emotional fulfillment, or if we're deciding to fulfill ourselves, it would make sense why Pisces is kind of more on earth right now than what they usually are. And what a time to be on earth, you know what I mean? This is Taurus energy. Taurus season could have really grounded Pisces, or maybe this is just what we were feeling coming into May. We will clarify this. But we're focused on something real. Maybe we're focused on starting something new as far as a career, which makes sense because we are going through a 10th house full moon when it comes to Scorpio energy. And you know, Pisces, actually that is not accurate. That is not accurate. I don't know why I've been saying the 10th house. Maybe it's because Sagittarius is coming up here, but Sagittarius is our 10th house. We will be going through a full moon next month in that sign. Scorpio is our 9th house. Wow, I can't believe I was saying that. We are still focused on career for some reason. We are still focused on money and the more tangible, but we are having a 9th house full moon first. I don't know why I was making that mistake. There just must be something about the career coming up for Pisces too. But I just want to make that clear that we are going through 9th house full moon, which has to do more with our beliefs, actually. It has to do more with travel and higher knowledge, okay? Our higher mind. But either way, we are the Queen of Pentacles, Pisces, or there could have just been some female earth energy that was important to you at the start of May. And if we're embodying this energy ourselves, we're very much focused on, you know, that life-work balance, having a balanced home, having a balanced work life, everything going kind of smooth. That's what the Queen of Pentacles likes, because she is a master of her own worth. She is the reality master. She has mastered all that is real. She's a really hard worker, very logical woman, very grounded, focused on her security. You know, if some of you guys are mothers, you know, you're focused on finances and security in that way. So we'll talk more about her when we clarify it. But let's move into the second week of May, which is where most of us are right now, unless you're watching later on in the month. We have the 3 of Swords, Pisces. So there's definitely some heartbroken Pisces out there the second week of May. Not that it's just limited to that time. Some of us have been feeling this for quite a while. The Three of Swords. Remember, it came out with the World. So this is all in the name of some kind of completion, Pisces. There could be something that we feel lost. We may feel the loss of something the second week of May. The Three of Swords does talk about loss and separation, heartbreak, some kind of pain here. I mean, there's 3 swords stabbed into that heart there, so it could be deception. There could be a third party here. Again, some of us could be feeling the loss of what we just talked about with the Queen of Pentacles. We could be feeling a loss of our security. We could be feeling a loss of our financial loss. We could be feeling a loss of our stability. You know, this is a very Queen of Pentacles heartbreak. So I don't know if there's a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn who's feeling this heartbreak with us, or if we're separating from earth signs. I mean, I do feel that the majority of us are dealing with that in May, the separation from earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, very logical people, very grounded people, people who work a lot. Like that's the King and the Queen of Pentacles. And there is a relationship here. Although there is heartbreak in the middle of these 2 individuals, we're going to talk in just a moment about the Queen and the King of Pentacles. But first, the second week of May, very heartbroken. Now, with me, guys, this is my speak from the heart. Now, there may be a heart-to-heart conversation that we need to have in regards to this completion, in regards to this separation, the second week of May. We're being told to speak from our heart, which makes a lot of sense because Taurus is our 3rd house of communication. So we literally have Queen of Pentacles, which is a Taurus, and then we have the Three of Swords, which is communication. So Taurus is all about Taurus season, which is this energy here when we're going through our 3rd house of communication. There's something here about speaking from the heart, Pisces. There may be a head over heart decision that we have to make, and it has something to do with the security that's surrounding us. Money, our home, the ground beneath our feet, which is something, Pisces, it's not that we don't appreciate the ground beneath our feet, but the energy that Pisces has is almost like we're always hovering a bit above reality. We're not ever really firmly on the ground. You know, we're too far in our dreams and in our imagination, and we're too far into our fantasies to really appreciate the ground beneath our feet like a true Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn would. So just keep that in mind as well when it comes to this very earth real energy that it's already foreign to us, Pisces. So there's just something going on with that. I think Taurus season brought that up. This is Mother Earth. Taurus is Mother Earth Gaia. So yeah, I do feel that Taurus season, the first couple weeks of May, basically until May 21st, this is the first 2 weeks, we really may have to communicate something that is quite heartbreaking. And again, some of us could be dealing with loss at a very tangible level. Like this seems like a tangible loss that some of us are taking. So it could be the loss of a very realistic home, the loss of a job, the loss of money, the loss of something that we consider valuable, which could be anything, Pisces. We all have different values, right? So the second week of May looks a bit heartbreaking. Some of us are feeling that energy the second week of May. We're going to clarify and see what exactly this is, Pisces. But let's move into the third week of May, which we have this King of Pentacles, which is literally the masculine version of this Queen. So regardless of if you're single or not, regardless if you're with earth signs or not, we have a couple showing up here, which is telling me that Pisces is needing grounded relationships. Okay, there's something here about grounded relationships, logical relationships. Hold on just a second here. Yeah, there's definitely something going on here with this King and this Queen of Pentacles. So to me, when I see the King and the Queen of Pentacles, this is a relationship formed between two people that is business. This is a business relationship. The King and the Queen of Pentacles, they represent a very tangible relationship. So it's also very important that we are able to physically touch and see the people that we're in relationships with. That might be why there's a separation, because this wasn't grounded enough. These two people had very different values, very different ways of making money, very different ways of accessing what is tangible and materialistic. This could be a financial separation between two people to where, you know, it could have very well been a codependent relationship where we were with these people because we had to be. We didn't have a place to go. We didn't have a place to be. We didn't have our financial We didn't have the right finances to branch off on our own, which would explain why the beginning of May, Taurus season, was all about being more stable and having our own values. It becomes interesting when the values of two people intertwine in a relationship, because with us Pisces, that may result in us valuing what they value, but are they valuing what we value? This king and this queen they have similar but different values. You can see how they're both focused on a pinnacle. All right, and like I said a moment ago or a while ago, they're different. They're facing different ways. So it could be that these two people are focused more on work, and it doesn't look like they've spoken in some time. It looks like there's silence in between them. There hasn't really been a conversation from the heart. There hasn't been any heart-to-heart conversations between these two people in a while. It's become too tangible. I do feel a sense of unsatisfaction from you, Pisces, that this relationship has become too tangible. Like, where is the magic? Where is the emotion? Where is the fantasy, the romance? I don't want to say that this isn't a valued relationship. Like, this is obviously a relationship that you value, Pisces, but do you value it at an emotional level? Do you value it at a spiritual level, which is more so the realm that Pisces focus on? And could that be why this is heartbreaking? Because this was something that was not valued at a heart level, which is not anyone's fault. It either is or it isn't. Like I said, these two people just had their own values to focus on. They had their own commitments. They're both stable in their own ways. But yeah, Pisces, I am feeling that. I am feeling like maybe finances is what separated these people, or reality is what separated these two people, the king and the queen. So yeah, I do feel that some of you guys are definitely separated from a person. Even if you're single, it means that you're focused on your own values and you're trying to attract a person who is stable and financially stable and grounded on their own. But I think this is I can't wait to clarify some of this, because it's really strange. It's definitely seeming twin flame to me. And a little bit more about this king and this queen, because they are absolutely a match. But is it a match for Pisces? Unless you guys have very heavy earth energy, I just don't know how happy Pisces would be in a relationship that is strictly financial. This is just a relationship that can offer security, but only real security. The king and the queen of pentacles are not known for emotional security. They don't really focus on what they feel. They're very sensitive. Don't get me wrong. These two people are very, very sensitive, but they've become emotionally cold and shut off because of how tangible things have become. Like, there's a huge focus here on just money and resources, and like, that is too earthy. This is a very earthy relationship for you, Pisces. It's a relationship that kept you in reality, and I think that had its benefits, and it had its pros and cons, basically. So very interesting, Pisces. The third week of May, let's focus a little bit on just this king of pentacles. There is an earth sign male here, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, who is very masculine. This man, I mean, he's very protective. He's a provider. Like, this is somebody who provides financially, but again, there just seems to be this emotional abandonment here. That may be what this heartbreak is about. This very stern and cold, distant man who works a lot, and I mean, this seems like someone who's very, he may be a boss, or like, this is a career. Like, someone has a career here. It could be you, Pisces. You could be both the king and the queen of pentacles. And if you are, I think reality in this case has broken your heart, because it's like, some of us would rather hold a cup in our hand of emotion. We may be trying our best to incorporate emotion in this union, but it seems to be heartbreaking, and that might be why it might result in a separation, because this is only a connection that exists on earth. When Pisces are used to connecting with people in the emotional realm, in the dream realm, okay? So hopefully you guys know what I mean. It's just too much of a realistic, it's too realistic. This is like a Hierophant energy. It's a very earthly, there's like no deeper mysticism about it. So that's up to you guys if you're happy in that, but I don't think you are, because we have the Three of Swords. So this King of Pentacles, there could be an earth sign who is very important come the third week of May. Again, we are not going through a 10th house full moon here. We're going through a 9th house full moon. And this is the time period of the Scorpio full moon. So If none of that applied, Pisces, what this is simply saying is that we need to be very grounded in the third week of May. Being grounded is so important. The first half of May, like the first week and the third week, very important to be very grounded. Now, this could be a connection, or this could be an energy. This is duality, masculine and feminine, the queen and the king. So we really do need to master reality. Maybe we have, Pisces. Maybe there's something here about that we've already mastered in reality. And so that would very much mean that it's time to go back into those magical realms of your dreams, of your fantasies, even if you're very weighted down with the heavy responsibility of finances and what's tangible results, like very important to this couple here. But what I was going to say is that the positive of this king and this queen is that they are very grounded. They are able to handle things that come up in the reality realm. They're very realistic people. You know, they may not dream very much like that Piscean energy, but maybe there's something we can learn from this. Maybe there's something that we did learn from this union. How to be more grounded, how to be more practical. You know, Pisces, we do need that. You know, this is earth energy, which is the opposite of us as water. So I think we've just established a very firm foundation for ourselves, which is great because we are going through the fourth house with Gemini season at the end of the month. So if anything, this separation has taught us, we are learning a lot here too from this King of Pentacles with the ninth house full moon there. We're going to need to be very grounded. We're going to need to keep an eye on our finances and on our values, on our worth. And for some reason, Pisces, we've been brought down to reality to focus more on our tangible security, which I think is heartbreaking for us. Being caught in the middle, like our heart is in the middle of this very earthy energy. Now, this is interesting. The last week of May is the Moon card and the Five of Wands. So we literally have the Moon card for the fourth week, which is, this could be talking about the Scorpio full moon or a Cancer, but this is our ruling tarot card, Pisces. So there's something about us at the end of May. Maybe we're needing to focus more on ourselves, which is something all Pisces could benefit from doing, because we do put other people before us very very often. We put other people before us. So yeah, there's something about you, Pisces. Maybe you're dealing with another Pisces, or maybe this is about our shadow side, because the moon does talk about our fears. It does talk about our shadow side, what we're hiding, our soul. So with this combination, I am picking up on something about soul conflict at the end of May. We could have a very conflicted soul. This looks like someone who's competing over a soul, or someone, there's a secret competitor here. The Five of Wands is conflict. It's a 5. So it's something that needs to change, because this is a hidden conflict. In Pisces, we are so in tune with emotions of ourselves and other people that we're able to intuitively feel these energies. This is an intuitive battle, right? Something that's going on internally at a soul level, and emotionally too. This could be emotional conflict. This could be soul conflict. In either way, it is attached to something hidden. The moon hides things. So I don't know if we're hiding the fact that we're going through conflict at the end of May. I don't know if there's any secret competitors that's going on here. Something needs to change about the way we express our emotions. Something needs to change about the conflict we're feeling as far as expressing our soul. Because this is a soul battle. Like, this to me looks like people, at least 5 people who are battling or competing over, you know, something secret, something deep. I mean, this is very, very interesting, Pisces. This is a conflict that Pisces is going through, because it did come out with the moon. So we are definitely going through conflict at the end of the May. I don't think it's new conflict. I think it's something we've already seen coming. Sometimes the moon hides things, but Pisces, this is bringing attention to our intuition and what we feel inside. Like, most of us already know this. Most of us know that there are people around us who are fighting over our soul. This could be competitors fighting over you, Pisces. This Five of Wands seems to be, this is us. Here we are, Pisces, as the moon, and here, I don't know if we're somewhere in this mix too, but this looks like 5 people exterior to you. There's some conflict that needs to change here, Pisces. Okay, the moon and the Five of Wands, I think that's a very interesting combination. There could be certain fights and stuff that are happening. Okay, now, I don't know if someone here has a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn moon, because I do see the King of Pentacles in the moon. So someone here may have a moon sign. This could be certain secrets too, Pisces. There may be a secret at the end of May that is causing conflict. There's just something here in the soul. Now, another thing is some of us are afraid. The moon does speak to our fears. So some of us are afraid of conflict at the end of May for some reason. But remember, we have this Ace of Swords at the bottom of our deck, so victory for sure is coming up here, especially with the Six of Wands. These are two indications of victory. So we have the Ace of Swords, Pisces. This whole reading, this whole entire month of May has something to do with what we're saying, which is going to be extra important at the beginning of May when we're going through third house energy. New ideas, new clarity, new victory. This is a new beginning as far as our mind. This is us having certain conversations, communicating. All right, there is something we have to say. This is about our truth. This is about clarity. All right, we're speaking our truth. We know our truth, Pisces. We've known it for months now. And that is what is leading us to our victory, because now we have this Six of Wands, which is also victory. Two indications of victory here for May. There will be victory in May. There will be celebration in May. This is talking about certain admirers, because this is public acknowledgement for something, Pisces. So not only are we victorious in ourselves, like there are other people around us who are celebrating this victory with and for us. This is you being celebrated. You're on this horse here. You're being celebrated for some kind of, new victory and clarity. All right. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of admirers here that are admiring you up on this high horse here, getting a lot of attention maybe. And then we have the Death card again. So we do have a Scorpio showing up here, which doesn't surprise me because we have that Scorpio full moon on May 18th. So yeah, this is some kind of, we're celebrating a victorious ending and beginning, because the Death card speaks to transformation and rebirth, endings and beginnings, which may or may not be happening in our isolation or in our solitude or with a Virgo. We have a Virgo and a Scorpio showing up here. Okay. The Hermit and the Death card. So this is an ending and a beginning that is happening, that we're going to need to do some soul searching for, right? Some of us could be reflecting on this transformation. We're being very wise, maybe even a bit more quiet when it comes to this transformation. Like we are going to have a lot to reflect on internally when it comes to everything that transforms in the month of May. All right, and it's interesting, we have the Moon and the Hermit here, which is an opposition. Virgo and Pisces are opposites in astrology. We also have Taurus and Scorpio. So it's like the duality is coming up in this reading, Pisces. Feminine, masculine. The Moon and the Sun came up too. And Taurus and Scorpio, Virgo, Pisces. And we have the Ace of Wands. So we've got a few aces showing up here. We had the Ace of Pentacles show up briefly. We have the Ace of Swords and now the Ace of Wands. So new beginnings mentally, new beginnings financially, something we need coming in. And also new passion, something that there's a new spark. Like now we have two aces here on either side of this reading. So there's definitely newness surrounding you, Pisces, but there's just this transformation that needs to take place. Certain things must end so that things can begin. Remember, we're going through the world and the Wheel of Fortune, so cycles to consider here. It's nice to see that we're very victorious mentally, though. Like we have the clarity that we need. We're feeling very victorious as far as our mind, as far as our truth and our intellect. But we may need to go, especially during that Scorpio full moon on May 18th, we may really go inward. Like that might be a day where there's so much that we can feel going on. Like that's a day where all of us transform. That's going to be the grand death of all of us with this Scorpio full moon. And it might be best for us to just go inward, be a little bit more introverted so that we can focus on our solitude and our isolation, okay, before this new spark happens. And we have another indication here of a Scorpio, okay, the King of Cups. Could be us though, Pisces. Water sign, masculine energy. Now we have two masculines showing up in the Knight of Swords. So I don't know if we're wanting to rush forward. It's like this is telling us to master our emotion. Make sure that we're very balanced emotionally before we rush forward and say anything. Be careful not to say anything in May from a very unbalanced place emotionally, because you don't want to know the kind of words that'll come out. The Knight of Swords is known for charging forward. I don't know if this is someone who wants to say something to you, Pisces, but this is talking about balancing our emotion before we move forward as the Knight of Swords. This is also a Gemini Scorpio here. And this could be a spark with a Scorpio, a new passionate spark with a Scorpio, or some kind of man who is very emotionally open and available. This could be someone who doesn't express the way they feel very easily. It may take some time, whether that's you or another person. But yeah, there's a new spark here, Pisces, after going inward and reflecting. Maybe with a Virgo. We do have the Hermit here. There could be something with a Virgo that you might be going through a transformation with a Virgo, or you're just going through a transformation inwardly, in your isolation, in your solitude. Very meditative energy there. There may be a Scorpio who's isolated from you, or who's isolating themselves from you and not saying something. But here is our underlying energy for May. Very beautiful. This is definitely a validation that we are all celebrating victory. There's some admirers here. We're accomplishing something in public. Okay, so yeah, Pisces. There's something here about clarity and truth, victory, communication, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy there. So let's go ahead and clarify some of this pretty quickly here. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here for Pisces at the beginning of May 2019? Why is the Queen of Pentacles here for Pisces? Please clarify the Queen of Pentacles for Pisces for the first week of May. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here? So we have the Four of Swords. So we are trying to meditate on the best way to obtain this financial success, this security, and this stability. Okay, a lot of stability coming up here, but we're also trying to rest. Like some of us could be, you know, this is like a sleeping energy. So don't sleep on yourself, Pisces. Make sure that you're still gaining, because there's something here to be gained tangibly, especially with the Ace of Pentacles that came in around the second and the third week of May. Like maybe we had to take on a more realistic persona in order for realistic things to come in, because you are what you attract, Pisces. You attract in what you are to a certain extent. In order to attract something, you have to become in alignment with it. You have to align yourself with it. So it's nothing. It is no surprise that Pisces manifests spiritual things all the time. We always bring in magic. You know, we're not even surprised when a synchronicity happens. We're not even surprised when something magical happens, because we live in that energy every day. But Pisces is surprised when something real, intangible comes in. Okay, and for some reason the universe is really focused on that with us, which is why there's this masculine and feminine energy telling us to be stable, telling us to master the reality realm of money and finances. And that just fell on the floor. The Four of Swords just fell out of my hands in reverse. So some of us are not healing enough. Some of us are not resting enough. So don't overwork yourself, Pisces, but don't sleep on yourself, if you know what I mean. Okay, because there's something here about meditating. Some of us have been praying for stability, because in this case, the Queen of Pentacles energy is what can heal us, being more stable, being more secure on our own. Like there is something here about self-sufficiency, like being stable and secure all on your own, Pisces, financially, emotionally, in every sense of the way. Now, the bottom of the deck here, Pisces, is the Devil card. So we are also trying to heal from codependency, right? I think that we've been codependent, which is, be very careful of how much you're relying on another person, okay? It's so important to be stable and secure on your own. It's important to be your own rock. You know what I mean? It's nice to rely on people, but not to the point of codependency like this Devil card. Some of you guys could be dealing with a Capricorn here, especially with the King of Pentacles showing up later. But this could also be speaking to addiction. It could be speaking to toxicity. It could be speaking to obsession, lust, you know, anything that seems like you're trapped in it. Underneath this card, we have the Hierophant. So we have a Taurus and a Capricorn here. Just like I already spoke, I felt like the Queen of Pentacles was a Taurus. I felt like the King of Pentacles is a Capricorn. So Taurus and Capricorn energy coming up, very important. Not that Virgo isn't important, but we have a Taurus and a Capricorn. Like, this is a very toxic commitment, honestly. Some of us are in or dealing with very toxic marriages, because the Hierophant is all about marriage. It's about a commitment. It's about tradition. This is traditional toxicity, which is prime toxicity. Like, you're not just dealing with, you know, this is grade A toxicity, unfortunately, Pisces. Like, some of you guys are dealing with traditional toxicity. It's as traditional as it gets. So the narcissism, the sociopath energy, the selfishness, the manipulation, the gaslighting, it's all here, validating this the Four of Swords. So we could even be holding on to this energy, I think there's a very toxic financial bind, like someone that we need financially, which is, it's never good to be codependent like that, Pisces. So be very careful of toxicity. Okay, it's getting very heavy. It's like a burden. I don't know if there's an Aries involved, or if it's controlling, this burden of control, Pisces. Could be third parties that we're dealing with. All right, but we have all the earth sign energy showing up, some kind of toxic commitment. Some of us have been committed to toxicity with this Hierophant here. Some of us are committed to a very toxic person, or for some reason, I don't think people are toxic. I think people can cause toxicity, but it is a choice. All right, and we're meant to heal from this. We're meant to rest at the first week of May because of the amount of toxicity and things. Now, this is our shadow side too, Pisces. This could be, this could be a karmic relationship. I don't want to forget to say that with the Devil card, that it is a soulmate relationship. It's just like the Lovers, except you are attached to this person, not connected. So connection would be more spiritually based. It would be more emotional based. This is an attachment, and it could be a financial attachment. But we're meant to heal. Some of us are really praying for this stability at the beginning of May. There's something here that we're meditating on in a very realistic way. Pisces are getting really real with their magic. All right, so let's clarify this Three of Swords for the second week of May. Okay, interesting. The Eight of Wands. So Pisces, the second week of May, although heartbreaking, it is still linked to an energy of fast forward movement. So this could have been, I don't know if someone separated from you and traveled in an airplane or something like that, or if this is a message that is heartbreaking. You may hear about a message that someone is separated. It could be a third party situation. But we have the Eight of Wands, which is, to me, all about travel, right? Okay? There's some kind of message here that we may get in the second week of May. It could be heartbreaking. It could be based on betrayal. It's kind of interesting, Pisces, this energy, because the underlying energy is us, the Knight of Cups. So this has something to do with being on a quest for love still. Like, some of us are still staying optimistic, though we're separated, though we're heartbroken. Again, I think this is leaning more towards speaking from our heart and in a very quick way. Like, things are going to start moving forward pretty quickly, even though we're heartbroken, even though there's this separation. And it looks as if because there's some kind of love offer, like this is a very charming person, okay? Underneath that, we have the Two of Swords, Pisces. So there is some kind of decision to make here. There is a decision. Some of us are very, very back and forth in our head in May, specifically around the second week of May, because there's this decision. I think some of us are dealing with more than one person, and there's just some kind of choice. I don't know if this is someone who has a choice to make with you involved, or if you have a choice to make. The Knight of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or just anyone who is offering love, anyone who is linked to some kind of love message. So maybe you separated from someone and this is that offer coming back in. I'm not sure. Oh God. Some of us, now we have this Lovers card coming out. Remember, this is like the Devil card, but only beautiful. Like, this is a connection. It's a Gemini for some of us that we have a choice to make about, but this is twin flame. Some of us, we have a choice to make as far as this connection. I don't know if someone's at a distance, emotionally, physically, mentally, but there is some kind of distance between us and another person, and this is speaking to a love choice. Some of us are really indecisive about love. So before we move forward with our cup, Pisces, we have a decision to make. Like, we are so back and forth in our head. Maybe this is a connection that came to a halt, and maybe we have a decision to make after a separation or something like that. So very interesting. Let's clarify this King of Pentacles for Pisces. Why is the King of Pentacles here for Pisces? And we have the Seven of Pentacles. So this is an earth sign that some of you guys have put in a lot of effort with, right? A lot of earth here. This could be an earth sign who's put in a lot of time and effort with you. To me, this is talking about waiting. I don't know if some of you guys are waiting for financial stability, or waiting on an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But to me, this looks like you've taken a step back the third week of May. The third week of May is all about the reaping what you sow. You will reap what you sow, Pisces. So it depends on the seeds that you've planted. But by the third week of May, you will know if something has wasted your time or not. You will know if you've made profit that's the good thing about this Seven of Pentacles, is that it will ensure the very clear indication of wasted time or profit made. Okay, if you've wasted your time, you're probably not going to stand at that bush any longer and continue putting in effort. If you haven't wasted your time, then maybe you will. It's all about your harvest energy. There is some kind of harvest, especially if you're dealing with an earth sign that's coming up here. There's going to be this metaphorical bush of value. So by the 3rd week of May, you're either going to be standing at a very fruitful bush or a bush that has dried up and is dead. So we're going to understand value and worth. We're going to reap what we sow the 3rd week of May, which is that Scorpio full moon as well. This could have something to do with that Chariot, okay? This might be moving forward in spite of the growth or the absence of growth. That's what this is going to be. It's going to be growth. It's going to be the absence of growth. And we're being told to assess this value like the King and the Queen of Pentacles would. The King of the Pentacles would really be able to evaluate whether something is worth the effort or not. He's not going to waste his money or his time or his energy somewhere. So if you're not dealing with the King of Pentacles, this is talking about being more like that King of Pentacles, okay? It might be with a Chariot, moving forward. Yeah, there might be a painful ending with a Cancer, or maybe we're moving forward in spite of painful endings. We have a Virgo here again, Taurus or Capricorn, but to me this is Virgo. So some of us may be going through painful endings as far as finances, okay? We may be emotionally bored with this connection. And unemotional we may not be available emotionally, Pisces, but we're being told to move forward. We're still victorious. We've had all the victory cards show up for us. So in spite of obstacles of endings in this situation have become obstacles for us, and we're moving forward still. So please clarify the Moon and the Five of Wands for Pisces. That card jumped out in a very strange way, but I know that this is the card. Okay, we have the Tower. I don't even know how I feel about this Tower at this point, because I've just been through so many Tower moments. It's like whatever, you know, like bring on the Tower. We do have a Tower at the end of May, Pisces. There is something shocking at the end of May, something that falls apart. It's probably not the first time we've experienced this, but this seems to be one of the final Towers that we're going to go through, especially because it's actually clarifying the Moon. So again, we have to we know this intuitively. We've known this. We have this gut feeling about this conflict. Like, we've had this gut feeling about this energy for a while, Pisces. But the Tower does still represent something that falls apart in a shocking way, something unexpected, which doesn't have to be a bad thing. I don't know if it's good or bad. I think that's up to us to define. But with this card combination, it looks at the end of May that there is some sort of conflict that causes this Tower. Okay, it was a false foundation, something that wasn't stable. It could be the ending to a relationship. It could be the ending to a job. But it is something that involves conflict with you, Pisces, at a soul level. We may feel a bit like we're falling apart at a soul level. But this is an opportunity to rebuild in June. So the end of May looks quite shocking. It may be something that we don't see coming. There is absolutely something that we do not see coming at the end of May, Pisces, which I know scares us a bit because we're so psychic. But even us, Pisces, even the grand genie of all, even the universe even keeps certain things from us. This looks very Scorpio full moon related. Again, it could be a Cancer or a Pisces that you're dealing with. Now, I know some of us have anxiety. I know some of us haven't been sleeping very well. But the underlying, because I did see the Nine of Swords, but the underlying energy for our reading now, Pisces, is the Two of Cups. So we have a soulmate connection here to consider. We do have this reconciliation, and we definitely have choices to make about the future of our love, because we have the Three of Wands here, and the King of Cups, and the Six of Swords, and the Hanged Man. We'll stop there. To me, this looks as if there's a choice to make about love that will affect our future, or it's a choice in the future. Okay, we're waiting for our ships to come in. Some of us are waiting on this emotional connection. We have a Scorpio man showing up here, or just the divine masculine emotion. Again, we're needing to balance our emotion, Pisces. Okay, maybe some of these connections have actually unbalanced us emotionally. Maybe we've connected with people that don't have a cup. Could be with a Leo, or with a water sign, another water sign. We have all the signs here, Pisces. But we're waiting. Some of us are waiting on our King of Cups and not the King of Pentacles. Like, this is a man who's open emotionally, more compassionate, you know, and it could be ourselves that we're waiting on too. But to me, this looks like we're waiting to connect with a King of Cups in the future. This is about the future of our emotional stability, waiting on more emotion in the future. But, you know, this is about getting to calmer waters, which is exactly what the King of Cups represents. I don't know if we're going to be traveling for this. I do see travel, okay, especially with the Eight of Wands too. So, you know, this is definitely talking about heading to a more stable place emotionally. It's sad. Yes, it will be sad for us to leave these people, places, and things behind, whatever it is, in May. But it's all in the name. It's like it's time for Pisces to be able to be realistic and emotional at the same time. All right? We have this King and this Queen of Pentacles. That's fine. But it doesn't have to be either or. Like, we should be able to stand firmly on the ground with all our emotions turned on. We shouldn't have to separate ourselves emotionally from people in order to be emotionally stable. Like, this is about having the two exist with each other. Definitely headed to more stable waters after this, because Pisces has been falling apart. You know, this is a clear indication that Pisces has been dealing with towers. And it's time for us to move to more stable waters, because we've been going through a lot. And this could very well be what the Scorpio full moon is bringing in. It's time for real emotional stability, Pisces. Not the fake emotional stability that we think we feel in the connections that we've been in. You know, Pisces can kind of lie to themselves and say, oh, I'm emotionally fulfilled, I'm emotionally balanced because of... But what we're doing is we're focusing more on the ways other people feel in our connections than what we feel. And that's keeping us from balancing our own emotion. The only way to attract a beautiful connection like this would be to stabilize what's in our own cup first. Focus on the future, stability, okay, which may or may not involve travel or moving on. To me, this is someone who's at a distance from you, or you're at a distance from them, and it could very well be an emotional distance. And the Hanged Man, Pisces, we're gonna definitely be seeing things from a different point of view by the end of May. Almost like our whole world has been turned upside down. And this is the Pisces card. This is talking about Neptune. Okay, so this is gaining enlightenment, working hard on that. Maybe some of you guys are mothers or pregnant, or maybe you're just focused on abundance in nature and beauty. But to me, it does look like we need to see this ending from a different point of view. See it for all that it taught you, all that it's enlightened you towards, because if one thing, we will be emotionally balanced. That's something I've seen throughout this whole reading, and that we're waiting on emotional balance in the future, something coming in that will further emotionally balance us. But we do have choices, Pisces, to make emotionally. This is like being split right down the middle. Again, I do feel like some of you guys, this is a relationship that's at a distance. And you know, emotion knows no distance. It doesn't matter where a person is. We're able to connect in that way emotionally because it's a feeling. This is like being able to feel someone's presence in front of you even though they're states and countries away or something. So we are needing to heal, Pisces, in order to move forward. There are messages here. There is heartbreak, I know, for some of you. But by the third week of May, we're going to know exactly why we were brought to Earth. We're going to know why we had to be so logical for so long. And it was so that we had real, tangible results. This wasn't about spirit for once. This wasn't about our imagination. This was about money, stability, security. It was about the real world, Pisces. And there's something about that, the real world for you. Remember, we did have the Ten of Cups at the beginning of our reading, so this is all about a completion emotionally, something that has came to an ending so that we can experience new feelings and new emotion. We've spent too much time in the same pool of water, Pisces. It's tainted, it's toxic, it's like the ocean with all the toxic waste. There's too much waste. And of course, there is definitely something going on at the end of May. So we need to get ready for this, Pisces, intuitively at a soul level. We need to get ready for this competition and this conflict, because that is what's ending. That is what's going to blow. This is like the final battle that is going to end this tower for us, okay? Which ultimately results in us having to choose. This is like being at an emotional crossroads. being in our present and in our future at the same time, knowing what we feel now, what we felt then, and what we will feel, and choices because of that. So Pisces, your reading was so long. I hope the other signs aren't mad because your reading is like an hour and 10 minutes long. But thank you guys for listening. If this resonated and you'd like a personal reading, please check my description box for any additional information that you might need. Other than that, guys, have a great May. I know there's some hardships here, but I think we're going to make it through it. I think we will. I really do. So you can check my Taurus new moon video out if you'd like. I already have that uploaded. And if you'd like to join me on the Scorpio full moon, I will have a video uploading on May 18th, hopefully. So if I don't see you guys there, I will talk to you in June. Bye!